Welcome to Reboot the World Campus Party's first ever digital edition. We're excited to have Vladimir Gendelman from the company Folders with us today to present The Power of Intent. Over to you, Vladimir.
Thank you, Carol. Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Power of Intent. I will now share my presentation, my screen, and we can get started. Here we go. Can you see my screen? Wonderful. And here we go. So my goal for this session is to demonstrate a simple strategy for improving your life by utilizing the power of intent. The power of intent is a tool that helps you acquire a mindset and a way of thinking of the person you need to be in order to attain a life change. The power of intent will help you achieve any kind of life change, whether it's health, career, relationships, self-perception, or anything else. Let's talk a little bit about how do we take on an intent. There are 3 phases, and in phase 1, we identify what area of our life we would like to improve or change. And then we determine who do we need to be in order to have that area improved. In phase 2, we visualize ourselves as that person, and we share our intent with others in order to create the commitment. And in phase 3, we start learning about the person's mindset and the way they think. With that, we start making decisions and choices that align with our intent. And now, I would like to show you how power of intent helped me lose 80 pounds. That is right. The picture you see on the screen is me at the age of 24 in 1998. And that is when I realized that it cannot continue like that anymore. I need to lose weight. I need to get my body under control and get healthy. I learned that a lot of people who go on a diet lose weight, but then once the diet is over, they gain the weight back plus more. And I did not want that. I was looking for a lifelong, sustainable change. So I realized that in order for me to do that, I have to become a healthy person. And I did. And I did that in the snap of my fingers. I just literally made a mental commitment to be healthy. And that was the only thing I had to do. The moment I started thinking of myself as a healthy person, I started reading books and watch videos that talk about health, proper dieting, better foods to eat, and so on and so forth. I started drinking less soda and milk. I started ordering differently at restaurants. I started exercising every morning, and it became my routine until this day. I started making fresh smoothies, drinking lots of water, and as of recently, I started practicing intermittent fasting. The beauty of the whole thing is that I never felt that I was on a diet. I never felt that I was denying anything to myself, purely because I'm a healthy guy, and that's what healthy people do. In the beginning, though, I did not look like a healthy guy yet. I did not have a healthy body yet, but I figured that will come. And that's exactly what happened. Every single day, as I learned something new or my weight decreased a little bit, I felt an improvement and I felt happy. And the whole journey is still a wonderful experience. Now, I would also like to show you how the power of intent helped me achieve my life dream of becoming an entrepreneur. I never had a vision for the kind of company I want to start or own, and become an entrepreneur was something I wanted, but I didn't know how to go about. So finally, in 2002, I figured that's time. And since I couldn't really come up with any particular company to build, I figured I will just do whatever I can. And at the moment, I knew how to repair computers. I knew how to set up networks. And by the way, Wi-Fi was just starting to get popular at that time. I knew how to build websites. And I also had a car, so I could drive people to their destination. And that's exactly what I did. About 4 or 5 months into it, one of my computer customers asked me if I can help him create or find beautiful company folders that he can be proud of. And I said, of course, I'm an entrepreneur. There is a problem, and I solve problems. That's what I do. So I figured it's an easy thing. I went on Google, did quick search, and realized there was nothing. So then I did a deeper search, and I looked and looked. I even drove around to different print shops, and I realized that there really is no company dedicated to creating wonderful, beautiful, premium presentation folders. And that's when the light bulb went off in my mind. I figured there is a hole in the market, there is a gap, and as an entrepreneur, it is my job to fill it. And that's how Company Folders was born. Since the customer referred to folders as company folders, that's what I named my company, Company Folders Inc. 17 years later, we are now offering the largest selection of premium custom printed presentation folders that we have printed over 20 million products of for clients such as Boeing, Chick-fil-A, Ford, Google, Hilton, Nestle, MGM, NFL, Sony, and many more. We are featured in over 500 publications, and we were included in Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies in America for 3 consecutive years. In the very beginning, well, for the first 5 years, I worked 14 to 16-hour days, and I never felt that it was hard. It was fun. It was exciting because I was an entrepreneur who was building something, and every improvement that happened on a daily basis gave me happiness. And that's where the power of intent comes in. When you take on an intent to be somebody, you start making little improvements here and there, and you start growing, and that's what makes us happy. Now, I would like to share 3 key considerations that I believe are extremely important in the power of intent journey. As we move forward and have questions about our life's direction, our energy will resonate with others who can help. And this is how this played out. During my intent of being healthy, I came across a lot of people, I still do come across people who recommend a book, who recommend a video to watch, an article to read, or some kind of a life hack or health hack that they do. And a lot of times I actually try those on to see if it works. When we have an intent to be a certain kind of person, we subconsciously do things to increase our capacity, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, in order to get there. And as you can imagine, when I started the company, in the beginning, it was easier because we were small and there wasn't that much to manage. But as we grew, my emotional capacity wasn't quite there to handle all the ups and downs. and handle them properly. So I had to increase that. So I read a lot of books, I watched videos, I took classes on how to do that. I had to increase my mental capacity for that same reason as well. Um, and I had to learn a lot of stuff because prior to starting company folders, I really didn't know anything about printing or design. And third, do not dismiss ideas of others, but at the same time, do not blindly accept them either. Instead, test them for yourself and see if it serves you. And basically, as people suggest things, as you read things in books or see in videos, if the idea sounds interesting to you, go ahead and try it. If it serves you, keep on doing it, improve it, make changes, and see how it affects you going further. This concludes my presentation. And now, if any of you have any questions, I would love to answer them for you.
Thank you, Vladimir. Really appreciate that. We have a couple of questions that came in, so I'm going to run them on the screen, and you can take it away.
Great, let's do it. Why do we need to identify as someone as opposed to just do the change? Great question. So let's take the weight loss experience as an example. So what happened is, if I just went on some kind of a diet to lose weight, it would lead me to losing that weight, but then most likely, just like everybody else, I would gain it all back. Most importantly, when we just do something in order to achieve the result, it usually works with a fixed mindset, because this is what we have and this is what we're going to do. Where instead, if we figure out who do we need to be in order to drive that change, that affects our whole mindset. We start thinking differently. We start looking at things differently. We're starting to learn more and more about the person that we now are, and therefore it becomes the lifelong sustainable change that improves over time. Hope that helped.
Okay, we have one more.
Sure. How could the power of intent help me become a more present parent in the life of my child? That's a good one. So let's look at it. Let's look at it this way. As parents, we're busy with all sorts of things, and a lot of times kids demand our attention at the most inappropriate times. Of course, kids compete with our phones. They compete with the messages we get, with emails and everything else. So if you would like to be more present in your kid's life, you just literally have to identify with a parent who is dedicated and present in the kid's life, and work it that way. We cannot decline our work. We cannot get away from any of that. So maybe it works for you to structure your day where you work and then you dedicate a certain amount of time to spending with your kid. And if you do that, during the time you spend with your child, make sure that you're present 100%. No phone, no messages, no calls, no emails. Just fully be there. Don't check your social media. Don't try and engage in something with your child that involves technology, or at least your phone or computer, because the moment you start getting messages, it usually takes your mind off whatever you were doing before. So really concentrating on that. And because you're now a present parent, you will seek out content online or books that will help you advance that journey.
Okay, thank you, Vladimir. Just want to thank you for being here today and participating in the first ever digital edition of Campus Party. I want to take a few minutes now to say thank you to our sponsors. We definitely Vladimir, thanks again and have a great day.
Thank you, Carol. This was fun. Thank you for having me over. Bye, everybody.